This successful lab test is proof that the key to saving Louisiana's bayou might lie in the cypress roots themselves.
We know that all of the flooding and all of that destruction that happened with Hurricane Katrina could have been avoided if that swamp was still in place.
Right.
The cypress trees also are able to sequester carbon. So if that tree is pulling carbon out of the atmosphere and it's burying it in its roots, all of that carbon is coming out of the air and not perpetuating the cycle of climate change.
So the thing that could save the world is these roots, basically.
Yes, cypress can save the world.
Cypress would save the world.
Long before Aunt Julia ever practiced her hoodoo, before even the American slave trade, the people in West Africa believed the roots held power beyond our understanding. It's taken science hundreds of years to catch up and confirm that, in a way, they were right.
There's a lot that's been said about Aunt Julia's curse. It's said that she cursed the swamp. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Oh, really?
That could have been a prediction to get across to these people, live right, get it together, or all of this could be gone.
The interesting part of it to me is a curse comes from transgression, right? Like you've done something to offend the gods, you've done something wrong. And all the ills that are assailing Louisiana, all the things that are destroying the wetlands, comes from things we've created, come from problems that mankind has made. You know, the land is cursed, absolutely. And it's a curse brought on by the very thing Aunt Julia was railing against. You know, you were destroying her forest, you were destroying her land, and it was all going to get washed away. And that's exactly what happened.
The indigenous people's land, our land.
So the curse of Aunt Julia wasn't a curse at all. Maybe it was the wise words of a woman whose connection to the earth far exceeded any understanding science could offer at the time. The Louisiana Bayou is in trouble, but not because of magic, but because of mankind's short-sightedness and the laws of unintended consequences. The accelerated effects of the hurricanes are because of all of it: logging, canals, the vanishing swampland, climate change, and even the invasive rodent that destroys everything in its path. These are all man-made maladies. We created imbalances in the natural order. And as for the possibility of the shrimpocalypse, I got some good news. Shrimp are delicious. But in their connectedness in our ecosystem, we can find balance. There are hundreds of people who are dedicated to restoring order in the bayou. And maybe the best hope of all is in the roots. The very thing that gave Aunt Julia her power. It could ultimately be the key to ending the curse.
There is no voodoo without the plants. There is no voodoo without